Hey, how's it going? It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. We're back from footy and I'm going down the back to let the chickens and ducks out just so they can get about 3 hours around the free ranging area. So come on, let's come down with me. Oh, what a wonderful day. What a beautiful day. I love winter in the subtropics. Look at these veggies. I mean, they're just growing gorgeous. Kale, everything's so healthy. The butter lettuce. We've even got corn coming up. Wrong time of year, but that just self-seeded and it's growing pretty well. Just as I've come past here, I've got these carrots that are coming up in this bed. She's looking a bit dry. A bit dry, not a good thing for seedlings to leave them dry out, so I better give them a water. And these guys have been locked up obviously most of the day, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, they've got a big pen to roam in and plenty of food and water, but of course they would prefer to be out here foraging around all this debris, and chickens just love digging it all up. And you can see this hose here that I've put in. That hose there runs from my chicken coop, and it's dug in from the top of the orchard there, where I've got another tap set up there, and I've branched it off and I've run it down the fence line through, dug it all in and down here into the chicken pen so I can fill up the duck waters and the chicken waters and the quail waters. And sometimes if I want to top this dam up, which the ducks aren't coming down to now, I can just top it up from our underground aquifer, and that works a treat. Now, a lady asked in the comments, I can't remember who the user was, but she basically said she keeps ducks and she's got a smaller pond than me and it gets full of muck. How do I clean it out and everything? Well, I have that small duck pond, that little duck, above ground duck pond here in the pen, and that really needs to be cleaned out basically weekly. Let's see if I can get that in picture. And they use that when they're in the pen. They walk up the ramp and that gets filthy, so do their duck buckets. But this dam here behind me, it does get a bit dirty, especially if the water level gets low, but I don't tend to worry about it so much. Mainly algae on the top, and because it's a fair body of water, 10 or 12 ducks don't dirty it up that much. And then when the rains hit in summer, it overflows and it flushes the system out and it stays pretty clean. The water keeps leaching in. Getting a few mozzies. Here comes the ducks. I'll see if I get out of their way, otherwise they won't come down. They saw me, they see me. They're not sure. It's not like I cruel them or anything. I don't know why they're so scared of me. I've never done nothing except try to chase them into the water. That's enough mucking around with them. They'll probably get into the dam when we're gone. I nearly forgot to water those carrots, you know. Probably another few hours and those seedlings might be dead. So I'm glad I just remembered that again on the way up here. I don't leave my electric pump on because that just wastes power. I only put it on wherever I need it. So whack it on there, primer. I like hand watering. I have got a watering system hooked up to this place, but and which I can switch on if need be. But you know, I just like hand watering. I can find bugs, I can see problems, I find it soothing, so where possible I don't use my automatic watering system. I just leave my pump off and just water as I go. This is water cam. Alright, I'll get to these seedlings. These are a rainbow mix of carrots. Should be red, orange, yellow ones. An organic mix. Give them a good drink. Seedlings this high, they usually need at least a little bit of water every day. You can see my shadow. Hello. See, normally I'd edit that out, but I'm not. These cabbages, they're just glorious. Look, it's as big as my head. Bigger. Yes, I'm a home dad, and I do all this menial stuff too, like hanging the washing out. Would I rather be in the garden? What do you reckon? Okay, it's late afternoon, and as you can see, the sick joke that I've been going for the last few vlogs is that I'm finally starting to pick up these limes. You can see they've gone from green to yellow and fallen from the trees. They still taste pretty good. Maybe not as sort of limey crisp as you would get from a green lime, but I don't notice a whole lot of taste difference personally between the yellow ones cut on and squeezed and a green lime. So I find that juicing them up at this stage is pretty cool. And now here I am finally getting around to it. It's nearly dark, well, the sun's going down. I've hung the washing out. I've done a lot of other daddy chores, and so before dinner thought I'd come down here and finally get on to picking these limes up. Now my wife would say, Mark, why don't you just get the kids to do it if you're busy doing other stuff, you know? And you know, I would, and I probably should train them up, but the thing is, I just know that half of the ones they put in here would probably be slightly rotten or mouldy, and then I'd have to go through it anyway and throw out all the bad ones. So at least this time, in this way, I can sort through it. And when I come across a yucky one, I'll just throw it underneath the tree. I might get into juicing them this afternoon when the boys are in bed after dinner, and show you the juicing process and other things, that how I'm going to make just cordial out of this, a quick cordial, so that we can have, you know, free cordial for the next 3 or 4 months. Oh well, that's quite a haul of limes that I've got. It even broke my basket trying to lift it up. It must weigh about 25 kgs. I'll give you a look. Here's big container, huge, all full of limes. Look at some of the size of these. This looks like a big lemon, but I guarantee you it's a lime. I'll cut one on when we get inside and I'll show you. But yeah, that's done the trick. Cleaned up that area. Now I can whip a snip around here. That'll be my final tree to do. And I've whacked all the limes I didn't want underneath the tree, and they'll compost down. Perfect. And as I showed you in previous videos, it's flowering again. There's flowers all over this, and it'll flower even more in spring. And as you can see, there's even small fruit starting to form again, including more fruit still growing and ready for picking. If I wanted a nice green, lush green lime slice in my Corona, there's always one on the offer. This is a Tahitian lime. I've detailed it before, in several videos. I can't sing the praises of this tree enough. If you want a good lime tree, get a Tahitian lime, and you know, feed it well, look after it, but to be honest, it'll grow in lots of conditions and in harsh environments, even with not a lot of love. But give it a little love and it'll have fruit on it just about all year for you, particularly in a subtropical environment. Yeah, really good tree. My peas have started to flower. They're behind me, see? Along there. So they'll be producing the little pods soon. What I'm going to do is pick some veggies for dinner tonight. Well, I'm just going to have some crumbed fish, frozen crumbed fish, got in the freezer. I'll put that in the oven for about 25 minutes, and on the base of it I'm going to just serve some shredded kale, spinach, done with a bit of lemon and olive oil, a little bit of apple cider vinegar that I've made. I haven't showed you guys how I've made this apple cider vinegar from our batch of apples. I really need to whack that video up and show you it, but I'll put a little bit of that in, full of antioxidants and live lactobacilli, bacteria, good for the kids, good for myself, and I'll probably put a little bit of standard red wine vinegar with that as well. Mix it all together, maybe a touch of sugar, and with that type of dressing, it really gives the bitter veggies like the kale and that, when you're eating it raw, slightly bitter, it gives it a real good tang, and it works well with the fish. We've had this quite a few times. Boys eat it up, no worries. If I wasn't there, they might just eat the fish, but they do like their veggies, and the way I do it with lots of good salad dressing is generally a good way to get kids to eat it. So let's go pick some. I think I'll grab a few heads of brock as well, the mini brock that I've got going, and we'll get that. And then I'll leave that sprout, and that'll give us some more. That'll give us some more heads. Kale. Might pick a couple of celery leaves. The celery that's just starting to come up. That's to add a little bit of tang to that salad, or the shredded salad. It'll go good with the lemon dressing. And maybe throw in just a few tomatoes at the bottom. Tomatoes always go nice in a dressing. The tomato juice comes out of them. These are the Mamande or something like that, I think. I thought they were a flame, but they're not orange, they're gone red, so I'm not sure what they are. I think this one's a mortgage lifter. It's a bit of a ripper. I'll pick that tomorrow. Oh, no I won't. I'll pick that right now. Maybe have it on my toasties tomorrow. Is it another one on the ground there? Bugger me. There, that looks alright. Good. No, that's perfect. That's a ripper. I didn't see that. It must have fallen off. Oh, that's why. It's got a bit of a cut in it there. I just cut that bit off and that'll be fine. Yeah. Right, so that'll be enough tomato. Maybe throw a little bit of parsley. So I'll chop all this up fine, then add that dressing that I was talking about. A few tomato pieces in there, not a lot of tomato, and then the fish layered on top, and the juices should go through. A bit of lemon on the side of the plate, and that should go really nice. Alright, well, welcome to Mark's kitchen. The kids are in bed and I've got a big pile of limes that I've got to juice up. I collected these milk bottles. They're a 1.5 litre milk bottle, or 1.5 quarts. I think that'd be the measurement in the USA. And I've washed them out, soapy water, nice and clean. I'll be using them to store the juice or the cordial in. I'm going to add, at this stage, probably 1 cup per litre of juice. I think that'd be sweet enough and also preserve it enough in the bottles for long-term use. Right. First of all, check out these tomatoes I picked today. You saw me pick them in the garden. They just look great, don't they, in the bowl? Beautiful fresh red tomatoes from your garden. Can't beat it. On here, I'm fermenting some Jerusalem artichoke, and it's turning out really great. I've got a radio show on Monday, and Rob, the host, wants me to talk about this, and I'm going to take him some to taste. It's pretty well ready now. It's been bumbling away for about 3 weeks, but I'll give you more details on that in another video. But it is a heck of a good way to preserve, but also to make Jerusalem artichoke a lot more palatable and a better thing to eat. Anyway, let's get on to the juicing. So here's the juicer. This is about 6 or 7 years old. Looks brand new. It's got a lot of work because of our citrus orchard. A lot of our trees are citrus, and of course we do quite a bit of juicing like this. And I wanted to show you though, I talked about this in the orchard today, the colour. See, they've gone yellow, but the colour inside is still a green, still a pale green, like a general lime, and it smells and tastes like a lime to me. And it's just a matter of whacking the thing on there on the end and then pulling this down. I'm applying just a little bit of pressure, but not much. It spins around just like a mechanical or a manual juicer would do, with you spinning it around with your hand. The juice comes out there. The pulp or any seeds, which there aren't any in these limes, but would get caught in here, and juice comes out there. That's what's left. Pretty well, not much. And that skin I just throw in my sink, and then I'll collect them later and put them in the compost. Rightio, still going. This squeezing limes is mind-numbing stuff, but I'll show you. I've got enough now to make 1 bottle of lime cordial, and I'll show you what I do. So here's the lime juice. It's not that great with the camera, but it's quite a nice tinge of green to it. I've got some caster sugar, my bottle, funnel, and for 1.5 litres or 1.5 quarts of liquid juice, I'm going to put in a cup. And a half. Alright, put that down. So there you go. Yes, quite a bit of sugar, but this will be used in small quantities as you would any normal cordial, and it'll also preserve the juice so it doesn't go off, and I can just keep that in the fridge or a cupboard. So a little empty up like that, and get this, and hopefully not spill it. And I'm just going to pour some in there. maybe halfway. And I don't heat it up. This is all cold. It's the way I like to do it. Preserves the enzymes, doesn't cook it up. And now I'll put the lid on. And dissolve it. Just take a while, shake it, and just dissolve it. This is just a larger method of how I make, say, lime for the kids every day. Squeeze a few limes, put a teaspoon of sugar in, get the soda stream, whack it in, bang, and you've got lime lemonade. And that's all dissolved. It doesn't take much, pretty much dissolved. Yep. And I'll fill the rest of it up. Leave a little bit of ullage in the top just in case of any expansion or gases that might build up, but not much should. The top on, and continue to shake and dissolve it, and then that'll just go into the cupboard, and that'll be lime cordial. And just use an inch of that or so in a cup or a glass, with some either water or soda water, carbonated water, and then you put yourself a really nice refreshing drink. And that's the go. Well, that took 2¼ hours. It's nearly 10:30, but it made 10 litres of cordial all up. Or you could say 10 quarts in the US, I believe. I think that's about right. A litre is about equivalent to a quart. Gone, and a big pile of skins. And I'll clean that up tomorrow because I'm too buggered to touch it tonight. I'll put them back into there, take it to the compost heap, and that'll be that. So, well, that was a marathon of squeezing. Lucky I had the football on in the background. Now, just a few last points with this way of making cordial. If you're worried that because it's done cold and not heated up that it's going to ferment and the enzymes are going to grow or whatever, what you can do is pour that liquid into a basin, into a pan, a jam pan, heat it up, get it to boiling, then simmer it for about 5 minutes, and that'll kill off any bacteria, any growth or any worries that you might have, and then rebottle it into sterilised bottles, and you'll find that it won't ferment up or anything like that if you're keeping it out of the fridge. I tend to just keep it like that, and it works for me. But the other thing you can do is, and this is what I normally do when I'm just making up a litre of it or so, I'll make it up exactly like that and then store it in the fridge, and that way it won't ferment or bubble away or bottle won't expand or anything like that. There's no drama or no trouble of that happening if it's kept in the fridge. We tend to go through it fairly quickly with kids, although I don't feed them a lot of cordial, maybe a drink a day or so, but yeah, it's handy to have your own cordial like that. And practically we found 10 litres of cordial underneath a fruit tree today, and that's a good thing. And it's fresh, we know how much sugar's in it, and yeah, it's actually got some healthy parts in it too. It's not just completely smashed from all goodness. So that's the end of this vlog, I reckon. I think I'll sign off from here, and it's time for me to go non-ice. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to share self-sufficientme.com. Go to visit the website. That always helps. And bye for now.